Hey everybody, welcome to the Virtually Lost podcast. My name is Julian. I'm here with my good friend Robert. How's it going, my man?
Doing good. Nice to have you back.
Thank you. Nice to be back. Um, so what do we want to start off with today? What are we thinking? What are we looking at?
I guess for this week, we could probably go into some of the big events that are happening. It's kind of two events on the same day.
Okay.
For League of Legends, Worlds is starting on October 5th on Tuesday. So all the teams of the respective regions around the world are playing in Iceland again, starting the tournament that will last, I think, 2 or 3 weeks.
Is it usually in Iceland, or does it just usually change locations most of the time?
It changes locations normally. Like, that's where they had the mid-season invitational tournament.
Okay.
And since I guess all their equipment was still there, it was best to just have it there. Yeah, there's it was originally supposed to be held in China, but I believe there were issues regarding visas of going in and then then leaving back out of the country.
Oh, okay.
So it was best to just have it in Iceland again.
Oh, okay.
But on that same day, we finally get to know who's the last character in Super Smash Bros.
Ooh, that's a big one. Honestly, if it's like, of course, everybody will be disappointed because their random obscure favorite character didn't get in. But if it's not Sora, it's gonna be like a riot. Honestly,
majority will riot if it isn't Sora.
Majority. It will be the largest riot. There will be a riot, but
regardless.
It will be regardless. But the largest riot would be if Sora doesn't get in, which would be pretty insane considering. I don't know. I feel like Sora's a pretty big character, so I mean, it's the character everybody wanted in all the like the surveys or whatever, right? Because they did the official surveys. I don't know if they only did those in Japan or they did them here too.
Yeah, I always wondered about that because I remember that's where they kind of just surveyed who were ones that people would be potentially interested in, like way early on. I think it's before the game came out.
Possibly,
yeah. Sora was just high up there.
I think they did like regions. Like I think they did like EU, Japan, and then like North America or something like that. And I think Sora was on top of like every list.
People like Kingdom Hearts. I don't say. I'm just waiting for the Toho character to get in, but I'm also never expecting it to happen. That's just like the small chance that would. Honestly, if that happened, 98% of the world would be pissed off.
Yeah, Smash. Absolutely.
They would never forgive that.
Yeah, no. Imagine it being another Fire Emblem character.
If it's Lysithea, it's acceptable. Anyone else?
Dude,
I don't care.
People would be so pissed. It'd be funny as fuck though. I really doubt it'd be any like Mario character. Like what was it, Gino or whatever was one of the characters everybody wanted.
Oh yeah, no. People would be like, "Who the hell's this?" Yeah. People haven't played Super Mario RPG.
Yeah,
who the fuck is Gino?
What were the other ones? Like one was like Isaac from what was that game? I have that game.
Binding of Isaac?
No. Isaac from the main character's other RPG, like the Game Boy RPG.
Oh, Chrono Trigger?
No, it wasn't Chrono Trigger. It was I have this game too.
Come on, man.
You're bothers me. I have this game. I have it. I'm looking it up.
Yeah, I have to look it up apparently. Damn. Well, other ones that people were saying were...
Yeah, give me some. Golden Sun.
What game? I've never heard.
That's actually a really good game. It is actually a really good game. I don't know why I forgot the name. But yeah, there were some really good like RPGs on the Game Boy.
People wanted those too. Who else they want? Of course, always the joke Master Chief, which would never get in.
Master
Doom.
Chief, Goku.
2B from Nier.
2B from Nier.
No
actually,
chance.
That would have been kind of sick.
They couldn't do that because Tekken already put her in to their
really?
game.
Yeah.
No, not Tekken. Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So can't do that. I don't know. But come on, just put in a Toho character just for the just so you can get those OSTs in there. That's all I care about. If you get the music in there, I don't care. Actually,
you'd be pissed because they would actually like only put 5, and you'd be mad that why didn't they put my obscure OST from like a side company that isn't actually the main one.
I think it's a good trade off people would be upset, but then they'd come to realize the series just got bops full of music. That's all it is. But yeah, no, Sora's kind of has to
I'm
be
pretty sure it is. If it's not, I'd be very surprised, to be honest with you.
I'm also open to the surprise. Like if there was a good surprise and it was like a genuinely,
if it was actually Master Chief.
No, that's the one that I'm like, nah, I'm good. Just leave that one alone. But if there is a character that I'm overlooking, but has a good playstyle and has good music. Honestly, music is very important to me, so it's gotta have good music.
Simple and clean, dude, from Kingdom Hearts, dude. It's crazy. If we get simple and clean, we're good.
My Sanctuary, and then they just have that blasting. Blasting? Oh my goodness.
Speaking of Smash, honestly, what is your opinion on Nickelodeon All Stars? I don't know if we've ever talked about it on this podcast.
I have no.
Like, I feel like a part of it is a meme, right? Where it's like, oh, it's gonna be better than Smash. But then, like, a part of it, like, at this point, is just kind of curious. It's like, is it, because I think I've heard the developers are people that worked on like Ruins of Ether or something, like the Smash like clone or whatever.
Rivals of Ether.
Rivals of Ether. My bad. So it's like it actually might be good.
Yeah, it might be a good game. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because I mean, like in the past, we've had Smash clones that weren't good, like PlayStation All Stars. I think pretty trash. Or it was all right, but like it didn't have any staying power. I don't know if there was any other like major like Smash clones that came from major companies, that it wasn't like an indie project. I don't feel like we've had many, because no one has been really able to replicate that formula and have the level of like character roster that Smash has, and especially with Ultimate and with pretty much with Ultimate. Ultimate, I feel, is like when the reveals of characters have been the most hype. They've been hype in the past, but like now it's like, oh, like we're getting a ton of third party characters. It's like really cool. It's like really hype. So it's like I don't think anybody's been able to replicate that or coming even close, to be honest with you.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the mechanics on this Nintendo game to be good. I'm just curious, once again, about the music. Am I going to listen to the SpongeBob opening song while I'm fighting people?
You know what's weird, though? What I saw recently is that they're not going to have any voice actors. There's not going to be any voice acting, like actual like voice lines.
Oh, really?
Like in that game.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is weird. Apparently, they could add it later, possibly, but yeah,
I will say that
weird
the Danny Phantom song.
Yeah.
Ooh, the Danny Phantom song playing. I'll be fine with that playing while I'm fighting, but I can't imagine fighting while listening to, the SpongeBob opening.
Are you ready, kids?
Yeah. Just with the 3, 2, 1, and then just "Are you ready, kids?" That'd be the dream, actually. Yeah, I'm expecting. I think
it's possible that it's going to be fun. At least, like it'll be a good like little attempt there.
I'm questioning whether it's going to be a $60 game though.
That's a good question. I'm not.
To me, it seems
like a 50, 40 maybe.
I was thinking 40, 45. Yeah, it seems like.
Are there games that like release at 45? It's usually at the like 40.
It's mostly 20, 40, 60, and then some 50.
And there's some 70 now.
Yeah, 70. I forgot about that.
Starting with PlayStation 5. And, I think Xbox is doing it too. Right, where they went $10 up, which is like, that's kind of crazy. I feel like games have always been $60 for like the longest time, so it's like weird to see it at 70. It's not that big of a difference, but just like it's like in your head, it's like fuck.
To me, it's always been 60. I think for as long as I can remember, it's been 60.
Yeah.
So 70. Oof, too pricey for me.
It's too pricey for me. I got a budget. What hypocrite me? Like I could spend like $100 weekly on like old games for like the PlayStation 1.
I know. I just spent like 100 on shoes, so it's like I can maybe see myself purchasing a game or two.
Yeah.
But clothes are kind of important,
Clothes are kind of important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm throwing out a lot of clothes. I'll be honest. I'm in the middle of like a wardrobe change where it's like all my clothes are from like early college, and I'm like, yeah, they're like discolored now. Like I need new clothes. Like oh shit.
Yeah, the overhaul.
The overhaul, yeah.
Probably my shirts and my pants are probably the thing that needs to get overhauled for me the most. But like jackets and hoodies and stuff and shoes,
you're good.
Those two things, shoes and like hoodies,
those are the funnest to shop for, honestly.
Yeah,
like that's usually where you get your hype, like your hype pieces, or like the things that catch people's eyes the most, I feel like.
Yeah, so that'll be the next thing, is gain some shirts and some pants and some, you know, some belts, some accessories actually is what needs to be done.
True. True. Well, I was gone and I wanted to make some a bit of comments. Oh, actually, no, before we do that, before we do that that little recap, I am pissed, Robert. I am pissed. I saw that there's a redesign of the Bandai Namco logo recently that's been floating around Twitter. And it looks trash. I'll be honest with you, it looks trash. It looks like every other company that like I would love to be a graphic designer right now, because it seems like you can get paid for doing basically nothing and just like typing out some letters, putting it in a fun color, and then having the background be white.
It is an unassuming logo.
Yes. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I feel like we're getting to especially in like, which is weird. It's weird for me to think of this about gaming, where it's like we're getting to like peak minimalism in gaming, which is usually the medium that's like the most loud in like in the space. Like it's like with stuff like graphic design or with stuff like, you know, logo making. It's like usually games are where it's like most loud, it's most like fun, it's most creative. But it feels like so corporate now. A lot of these companies feel like boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bandai Namco's like old logo, it was like,
it wasn't even that crazy.
It looks splotchy to me. Like it reminded me of like splotches of paint. Yeah, but it looked fun.
Yeah, but it wasn't even that crazy. It was like, it wasn't even that. It was still pretty minimalist, but it was, you know, it showed some kind of individuality. That's gone now.
Like you could tell me, you could actually just change the font of the new Bandai Namco logo and have it read Twitch, and I would 100% believe it, because it's purple. It has a square, like it's in a rectangle. It kind of gives me those kinds of same vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I saw people comparing it to like some kind of gossip website logo, like where it's just like some kind of magazine logo, like it just seems boring. It doesn't scream out to me that it's a game company. You know what I mean? It doesn't represent it like that, and I feel like that's, well, I don't blame them. I feel like that's how like everyone is going, or has been going for like the last 10 years, and I feel like we've almost reached critical mass of this kind of like design, of like this minimalist design, and we've reached a point where like people our age and maybe, you know, a little older, a little younger, are like, this is boring. Like why would we keep up with this? And like when we get more power in companies, or we get more creative input, people our age and people from our generation, like we're gonna move away from that. Maybe that's my opinion. I think.
So you think it's going to change in the upcoming years?
Yeah, I'd say in like 5 years. In 5 years, I see it changing to where like it's like, oh, people are starting to be more creative, be more experimental, and like
they're gonna run out of rectangles to use. Run out of rectangles to use.
Honestly, and like, you know, like the pastel colors or whatever, a pastel color and a white background. It's like it's like it's very much the Apple methodology of brand management or whatever, but it's like it's so boring. And I feel like we've reached the point where it's like we have to have this kind of rebellion era where it's like things need to branch out, and we need to kind of renew the cycle from going from like really clean and minimalist to going to more experimental, more loud, more weird. Like I think we should be okay with being a little bit more weird. I feel like we have a bunch of these kids who grew up on fucking like, you know, weird art forms, like fucking, I don't know, like FNAF or something. You know, people like love like doing like fan art and shit when it's like weird and.
Five Nights at Freddy's. I was like, what the hell is FNAF?
Dude, I used to be really deep into the lore of that game.
There's lore in that game?
In Five Nights at Freddy's? Yeah, there's like hardcore deep lore into that game.
Huh, didn't know.
Like about like dead kids and shit.
Oh really?
Yeah, like that game is like has some deep ass lore.
I don't know. I'm just bad.
You know that game series is like, is it like almost 10 years old or something?
Really? I'm just bad with pop-ups.
Like 8 years old or something like that.
That's like a kryptonite for me. I won't even go near that series. I'm so bad with pop-ups, dude. You cannot pay.
Oh really?
Oh yeah, dude. Have you never watched a horror movie with me?
No, I don't think I have, honestly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm really bad with horror and pop-ups.
That's funny.
I'll watch them.
Yeah.
But that shit just like,
dude, I grew up on.
It'll be like 1 a.m. I'll just be thinking about it in the middle of the night. I'm like, fuck, something's gonna pop up.
I grew up on playing Slender and stuff.
Fuck that.
I used to love playing that with my friends.
I just
that was an experience, dude.
I got traumatized because I watched like, I think it was Jeepers Creepers, like 1 and 2. Those two movies are just, when I think of the horror of my childhood, it's those two movies.
Dude, I grew up watching like really like violent like TV shows, and now I feel like I really do feel like I'm desensitized. I'll be like, oh, that person's dying, cool.
I feel the same way in regards to like because I played like Gears of War at like 6 or 7, and then I watched Chappelle's Show at that same time. So I think my sense of humor and like also like the gory video games kind of desensitized to a bit. But horror, oh my god, fuck that, dude.
I hate the horror. I think it's more like the psychological horror, where it's like or like it's like, you know, someone being trapped in like something like Aliens or whatever, where they're trapped in like a space and they have to like survive or whatever. That scares me more than like pop-ups, I think.
Oh no, dude, anything like that, anything that you just mentioned, easy. But if there's like a ghost, no, none of that.
For me, it's paranormal. More like I'm thinking of like the concept of like what I would do in that situation, or how scared I would be in like the situation the characters would in. Like I put myself in their heads.
And kind of like a suspense.
Yeah, sort of like that. Like, what would I do if that happened to me? And that's what sticks with me. Like, or like I'll be like, what would I do? What would I have done in that situation? And I'm like, fuck, dude, I would have just died.
I don't know. I'm the opposite, where it's like if I like I think it was Annabelle, and it's just like, damn. If there was ever a fucking doll in my house,
I'm moving.
Yeah, I'm
moving immediately.
Foreclosing on this house. Oh yeah, but before we went off on this, you said you were going to talk about last week's direct topics.
I was going to talk about like the stuff that was big. Hilarious. Chris Pratt, fucking hilarious. I loved it. Funniest meme of last week. Great. Genius. Honestly, it's probably the best marketing they could have had, just to have these like ridiculous castings, because it honestly got people talking about the movie. If it was like actually like professional voice actors or something like that, no one would have been talking about it. People would have been talking about it, but not like this. The level of attention would have not been there.
It's a bit cursed. I just think of the Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. It's cursed because I remember someone made a edit of the that laugh with the what was it Super Mario or Super Smash Bros. Brawl, like subspace campaign, where he just goes up on top of the cliff, and then they have a cut in of that freaking Seth Rogen laugh, and it was cursed as hell. I remember seeing it.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. I'm gonna laugh so hard. I really just want to go to this movie to laugh like really hard. Oh my god, that was perfect. That was great. Triangle strategy. I love RPGs. I don't know what I feel about the name, just because it seems a little too generic in my opinion. But you know, we're out here.
It's triangle because, like, you know, rock paper scissors. Like something beats the other.
Right. Of course.
You know.
Metroid Dread. I think it still looks really good, and I totally feel like I'm going to get that game.
I think it's coming out very, very soon. I could be wrong within this
couple days. Yeah,
I could believe.
Yeah, I think it says here October 8th.
Oh yeah, that's in 5 days.
Yeah. Oh, and I love the new membership plan for Nintendo. I love the new membership.
It was getting to be. If they added all this stuff under the current one, I'd say it is a bit too good.
Yeah,
so it's good. I think it makes sense that they had to raise it a bit.
Yeah.
for another level.
But I'm excited. Bayonetta. I was never big into. I haven't played the Bayonetta games, so
me neither.
Yeah, I don't know, but I've heard a lot of great things. The Kirby game is actually, I think, the most underrated, but actually one of the best things that came out of that show.
It has one of the best potentials.
Yeah, I love, and it was a game I finished. It was Kirby 64 the Crystal Shards, or whatever. Really good game.
What console is that on?
Nintendo 64.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I forgot every Nintendo 64 game had 64 in it.
Yeah, I really did. It was I don't know why people were like really into that number. I guess it was just because the console had it or something.
Yeah,
but generally looks really interesting. I don't know. I love Kirby, and what you could do in that game was actually mix like powers or whatever. Like you could have like one power, or you could like mix it with another one and make a new one. I'm not sure if this new game has that, but that was like really cool. They never did that mechanic again, but I would have loved for them to experiment more with that.
It's probably going to be really good because I'd say Odyssey kind of took one of the like Kirby's main attributes in that because of the hat system where you just take your enemies. But that's the original Kirby. So hopefully they got that shit refined and it'll be amazing.
Yeah, it looks like it looks really interesting because it's like it has that like post-apocalyptic feel like in a city. It's like really interesting. It's like eerie. It's kind of like, ooh, are we gonna get a Kirby game with a story or something, or like some kind, or like I think it's gonna be more like Dark Souls where it's an implied story and you can kind of figure things out. Like like that kind of like how Dark Souls does that.
No explicit story.
Yeah, no explicit story, but it's like you pick up on little details and maybe you can find out like what's going on. Yeah.
Looks good.
Speaking of a game that does that, I've been playing a lot of Deathloop recently, which is the relatively new game that came out on PS5 that deals with like a cool like time loop feature a la Majora's Mask. It gives that kind of feel off, and it's really fun. I've super enjoyed it. Like I've been playing it a lot. I was this close to finishing Persona 5 Royal. I'm like on the last section, and I just started playing because I got my PS5, and I was like, this game is hype. I'm putting up all my attention to this game. I need to finish Persona 5 Royal, but this game is like really good. I love the gunplay is great gunplay. I think it's by the people like this game is by the people that made the new Doom games. I think. I might be wrong, but great gunplay. But what the problem I have with a lot of Bethesda style games, like Elder Scrolls style games, is that like the world is too big, and there's too much junk to collect, where it's like not relevant to the actual story. And Deathloop takes a totally different approach, where the areas are small, contained. You don't go to a lot of places, but you go to a certain amount of places at different times of the day with different things happening. Like over the course of the day, and pretty much everything you collect is something that's relevant to the story and gets you more of the story. There is an explicit story, but it's not told to you in cutscenes or anything like that. It's told to you like in audio logs and stuff like that, and notes you find, and you kind of have to get as much from this. You have a very clear goal, and you can get as much of the details as you want personally. Which is like for me super fun because I love finding like secrets and learning the story on my own and like building out those little details and like finding things out, and it's like and it all serves the purpose of completing your main objective or whatever. But I've enjoyed it a ton. I think the abilities are super cool. They're like they've taken like tried and true abilities and like refined them like really well, and it's just a really cool concept. Super great style. The music design is great. Like how they use music is really good. I enjoy like honestly enjoy like pretty much everything about that game. It's probably one of my favorite games that I've been playing. Like I've played recently. It's probably already in my top 10 games of like all time. I think
all time. You said,
yeah.
I
think it's so different. It's something. I would have. I couldn't really say that now. I'd have to say it like maybe like a year down the line.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like the game that's had the most impact on me recently, for sure.
Have you beaten it?
No, I don't think I'm.
That's important, man. You can never say a game until you beat it, because I just think of manga series, and it's like, you know, it's a great series, and then trash ending, and it's just like it's ruined. It's ruined. It just leaves a bad aftertaste.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think I just love the gameplay so much. I don't really think the story could end in a way that it would
hit that
tarnish that for me. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the ending is clear. Like, I mean, it doesn't seem like the ending the story like would reach so many turns, but like it seemed to me, it seems like clear what the ending would be. But I mean, it might surprise me, but just the gameplay is so much fun.
That reminds me of the series I've been reading, because, you know, after reading and watching a lot, I was like asked my brother for a recommendation, and he's like, "Well, you can read I Want to Eat Your Pancreas," because he gave me the book like 8 months ago, and it's been sitting in my room on like a shelf.
Yeah, as per tradition.
Yeah, and he was like, "Oh, you could read that." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. Forgot you let me borrow it. It's been in my room for this long." And you know, I read it, I loved it and hated it, and it's I loved it. Like, I love the manga, but I hate how it made me feel, because it is sad. It is sad. So
yeah, I've heard things for sure.
Yeah, because I can't even spoil it. Literally within the first few chapters, they tell you, or first few pages. Yeah. The girl is dead.
The main girl's dead, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so the reading of it isn't like figuring out the like how it's ending, because in the end you kind of know how it's ending, but it's the interactions and relationship between the two is like what makes it good. And I was so close to like, oh, I won't cry, and then like there's like 3 pages near the end, and I was just like, I gotta avoid looking at the book, because I'm gonna get freaking ruin the pages. These tears. It was really good though, and I gotta say, I can't say it was my favorite, because, you know, I still have A Silent Voice is probably my favorite.
I do love The Silent Voice as well. Which I need to read the manga. I need to read the whole manga. I have volume, but I need to read the whole manga.
You should.
I love the movie though. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
That was another thing I didn't realize, like, because that book is like 400 pages, and having in a physical edition like that, I was like, ooh, this is kind of intimidating. But then I thought about it, I was like, that's like 20 chapters of like 20 page that's like 20 page manga chapters. And I was like, that's nothing. I do that easy on like on, you know, digital. But because it was in a physical, like a book, I felt intimidated by it. But as soon as I started reading it, it was like 3 hours. I was like, oh, that was good. And it was actually a lot shorter than I expected. Yeah, highly recommend I Want to Eat.
Yeah. Oh man, this is why I love fucking anime and games and shit. Shit's so good.
This was a collab. I saw that. I told you I wouldn't say any of the names. So it's between a game and anime. The anime you like, and the game is a battle royale. It's a Japan only collaboration. So when you think of a battle royale, what is the one you think of?
Fortnite.
What is the second one you think of?
Apex.
Think back a bit.
Oh, back at PUBG.
Yes. Okay. PUBG's the game. And think of an anime you like that has death in it.
That has death in it.
Arguably almost school life. Or slice of life. Almost kind of horror. So I forgot how far.
I know what it is now.
The game, PUBG. The anime?
I know what it is now.
What is the game?
It's It's called When They Cry, but I forget the
Higurashi.
Yeah, Higurashi no Nakokoreni.
It's a collaboration between PUBG and Higurashi.
That's actually
Japan.
great. I love that so much.
I was like, what the hell is this combo?
But that's my favorite horror. That's my favorite horror anime series. 100%. If you haven't seen that show, watch the original. I don't know if the new one is good because there's like a kind of semi remake or something that came out recently.
I think that's what the collab is between.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I don't know if it's that good. I honestly didn't hear a lot of hype about it, but the original is fucking amazing. Go watch that Higurashi no Nakokoreni and Higurashi no Nakokoreni Kai, which is the original second season. Very good. Very good. The second season, usually people don't talk about it that much, but it's actually really good. I really enjoyed the second season. Yeah.
But yeah.
What are they collabing? Is it just like characters or something?
I think you get some like crates that have some like event items, and I don't know. Like I didn't see too much. Interesting. Let me quickly look,
because I totally forgot that PUBG is still really popular in Japan. I think it was really popular at the start.
Very popular in, I believe, Korea and China, and those are like it's the main battle royale over there. I would say Japan surprisingly has a strong Apex community, but yeah, it's still popular over.
Yeah, no, I do remember because I remember a lot of anime like from the last couple of years, like referencing PUBG and shit. Like a lot of like slice of life anime referencing PUBG. I remember one of the ones that did that was Gamers. If you remember that show.
Oh yeah, well, Gamers had a bunch of
yeah, but they were referencing it like
everything.
In 2016, like right when like those battle royales were coming out. That show was, I don't care what that show was kind of trash, but it's a slice of life. But I fucking loved it.
It was an enjoyable piece of trash. It's like when you eat unhealthy fast food.
I thought it was good personally. I really like the characters. As long as the characters are good for me, I really don't care about like the plot points or whatever.
There was a certain, you know how you talked about the critical breakpoint or critical mass. That point, or for that show, there was a critical mass point of misunderstandings where I was like, I am frustrated with every single one of these characters.
I love that though. Yeah. That's fun for me.
It was fun, but I was like you said, there's a certain level where it's just like, can somebody talk to somebody so these misunderstandings can just be cleared up?
I loved it regardless. I love those misunderstandings.
Oh, I also finished reading. I took some time to finally finish reading the regular Magic High School's light novel.
Ooh.
And I think it's 32 volumes. I probably read about, it's like 9K pages worth of stuff.
Dang,
I like went through like the last
Harry Potter level.
Like, dude, I'm pretty sure I pretty much read like the whole Harry Potter like length.
Yeah.
With how much I read. I gotta say, it's probably probably my favorite series of all time of literature. Can't say the anime.
Is it done now?
Specifically the irregular Magic High School is finished, but now it has its sequel. I think it's called Magian Company is the next is kind of a sequel to that. Or it is a direct sequel to that. But
have you started have you read it and it's like decent?
It has 2 volumes. It's kind of more focused. I think it's like a 2 years after point. So I'll have to go into it and read it.
You haven't got into it?
I read through the first few pages, but I read way too much.
You read too much and you're like burnt out.
Yeah, no, like not like burnt out of the series. Like my corneas are burning from reading off a freaking screen for so long.
Yeah. Okay.
So if my eyes are actually burnt out.
Yeah. I gotcha. Weeb. No.
Yeah. But yeah, it's probably favorite series.
That's cool.
I like the events. The characters are pretty they're alright, but it's mostly the events and the story that I enjoy more so.
Like the kind of like the background lore of the world or whatever?
Yes. That is what I would say.
Interesting.
Really good. But we have not talked about fall 2021.
Oh, anime. we did a little bit of light talking about this before the show, and I have to say, and honestly, I haven't heard much about the season. Like, I haven't heard anybody being like, like the usual YouTubers being all hype about, oh, you gotta watch this series. It's gonna be the best series of the season. The only thing that everyone's talked about has been Komi-san. Komi-san. That's like the one that everybody's talked about. Other than that, I'd say catch up season. Catch up on some old anime. Watch some classics if you have some time. You know what I mean? Doesn't seem like you're missing a whole lot. I see a couple of second seasons, a couple of adaptations. I'm not seeing a lot of things that really catch my eye. I gotta be honest.
I would say I know some of these series from like their mangas. I'm surprised some of these got animated. Some of these should never.
I think we both know we're talking about Shumatsu no Harem.
Yeah. Now, if you read the description on this, you'll be like, "Yo, this sounds like this should not be animated." And by God, as someone who's read a bit of it, it should not have been animated. I can tell you that much. There is little to no plot. It's going to be a bunch of fan service. So, if that's your thing, go wild. But for someone who actually wants to watch like an engaging anime, this ain't it. Let's see.
Interesting.
Mushoku Tensei, or another isekai second season.
Yeah. Which have we reached critical mass of isekais? Honestly,
I think we are almost at that point. We're starting to get to the point where isekai is getting burnt out, but the fantasy world is now like replacing it. Where now it's just
it's like a genuine fantasy world.
Yeah, genuine fantasy. Where imagine if just someone wasn't from Japan, and instead it's just the world. That's what we're kind of getting to for the fantasy genre.
I prefer, honestly.
Yeah, it's always literally some guy just comes up with a smartphone, or some guy comes up was a chef who knows how to make some 5-star Michelin meal.
They barely even reference their life back in Japan or whatever.
Yeah,
or like back in the real life. Like at this point, like what's even the point of making them from another world?
There's some ridiculous shit though. It'll be like the ones that are cooking. It's like, oh well, actually in this world, food actually buffs you. So you're actually you're a adventurer now. Now that you can cook, you get your 5-star adventure. Yeah. It's just ridiculous on some of these isekais.
Yeah.
What other series? There's the Jujutsu Kaisen movies coming out in December, which should be good. It focuses
That's great. I love Jujutsu Kaisen, so I'm ready. Honestly, I'm waiting for like a new like anime movie like Your Name, or like an Oscar worthy anime movie. I want some more of those.
Just like a standalone movie.
Yeah, a standalone anime movie. I'm ready for another one. I remember back in 2016, 2017 when we were getting a couple of them. We were getting
Silent Voice and Your Name were in the same year.
Yeah, that was a good time for anime movies.
Did you watch Weathering with You? I forgot to ask.
Oh no, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. Yeah,
it was good. I enjoyed it. I remember watching it in theaters with some
That's
friends.
another Makoto Shinkai movie, no?
Yeah, it's his work after Your Name.
Yeah, Weathering with You. I've seen a lot of good things, a lot of great things.
Yeah, you do got a point though. We need another standalone movie, just one that just goes out the gate and it's like you don't need to watch a series.
I want people to keep talking shit about the Academy, about how they don't give anime any awards, how they give awards to like the Boss Baby or some shit.
Hey man, that was a 5-star film. I don't know what you're talking about.
Pisses me off.
And then let's see. I'm trying to look at some of these series I like. If there are any there. Oh, Demon Slayer second season is technically going to start, which should be good.
That would be great. Yeah.
Wait,
I'm down for that.
No, I know this series. It's like one of those ones I said where it's not a isekai, but it's just a fantasy. It's I won't even try. It's too long of a name. Basically, this guy gets kicked out of the hero party because he's basically just think of him like a trainer unit. He just trains everyone, and then they eventually get to a better point in him, and he can't keep up with the party. And that's basically the series.
That's sad.
There's a lot of like, kind of anime. Yeah, you are 100% right though. This is the time to catch up on that
that series you've been waiting. You want to start getting into the Fate series? This is the season to do it. You want to start getting into the Monogatari series? Get into it right now. This is perfect time. You can binge that shit with no worries.
Now's your time.
Yeah, that's hell yeah.
I haven't
watched Girl Senpai's. I'm surprised you haven't seen that. Honestly, I think that's a show for you. I feel like you would like that show.
I read the first few chapters of the manga a long time ago, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." But it was before, you know how, basically, I got to a point where it was just the beginning, and it hadn't gotten to the good point yet, and that was all that was released for the manga. So I was like, "Oh, this is good," but it's nothing that's like worth going back to. Yeah. But apparently, later on,
the first three episodes of the anime. It might as well be a movie. That could have been a movie. And I haven't seen the movie yet because I don't know if I had a way to access it legally, but I have to maybe
Come on, man. Crunchyroll
regulations
or Funimation.
I have both of them, but I forgot where it was at.
Oh, is it on neither?
Yeah, I feel like at some point it was on neither, but it might be there now, and I just have been too lazy to watch it. But no, super good. And I think I've even heard that the movie's actually really good.
Wait. There is an anime on here that does seem interesting.
Which one?
Tact OP Destiny.
Yes, by Madhouse and Mappa. Just because it's because
it's those two, I have an inclination.
Give it a three episode.
I would give this a 3 episode.
Yeah.
The one to the right of it, the assassin one, is another assassin isekai. Because we needed more of those. Because I think I've already seen 3.
Of course, yes.
So if that's your cup of tea, then feel free. But Tact OP Destiny could be great because of
just because of that.
Yeah, the people working on it, they don't miss as a reason.
They don't miss. It's the truth.
But surprisingly, the 2 series I don't know a lot of these series that people are following quite a lot. The Blue Period, Platinum End, 86 second season. I didn't even know there was a first season.
Yeah, that was my same thought.
But it's mech and military.
I feel like I've heard of Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah, that one.
I've heard of it a long time ago. Though. I don't remember.
It's an isekai guy. I think he's a NEET.
Of course.
Then he goes outside, gets hit by a car on a rainy day.
Of course.
And then truck out here doing the Lord's work. And then gets isekai'd, can use magic, and that's kind of it. He just uses magic to some grand level that breaks the world, basically. The huge.
Well, yeah. Well, what are some good recommendations? The last what was it? The new movie came out. It was Evangelion 3.0 came out. Watch that. Shit. Yeah. It's on Amazon. I was like, why is it on Amazon?
You don't have Amazon?
Yeah, but I don't think I have it where I could just watch it for free.
Really?
I think I still have to rent it.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't have the movie pass or whatever they have. They have a specific movie thing.
I'm trying to think of some series to watch. To recommend during this slow period of fall.
Period of drought. Play a game. You haven't played a game. We all know you have
play Metroid Dread. It looks great.
We all know you have that Steam library backed up. Play one of them.
I'll play Amori. That's what I'll do. I'll play Amori.
Play Amori. Honestly, I think you can pump out Amori in 2 days.
Really? Okay, yeah. Maybe I'll do that, and then I'll probably play Twilight Princess or Persona 5. Actually, Twilight Princess, because you are letting me borrow that.
True.
So
I forgot you had it.
Yeah.
You could have swindled me, dude. Well,
hell no. That shit's $100.
Yeah, shit was pretty expensive. But
dude. Also, before we end this episode, I need to start playing pool again. I was trash last night. Like
or to go play pool. Shout out to our boys. We want to play pool with.
It was fun. It was fun. I came late because I was playing Valorant, so I didn't notice that there was a text. I missed like the dinner hangout before, and I came and we're playing like I think it was teams of 3. So you know, I because I don't play too much anymore, I need to warm up a bit. But I never got that chance to warm up because you know the 3-person rotation on teams, and I played pretty freaking badly. Like I won't say I did horribly. Like we went 1-1, I think, because we were on me and Julian were on different teams. But I didn't like when I play pool. I put an expectancy on myself to carry.
And you were getting your ass carried, all right?
I think I would say. Honestly, one of our friends, drunk as shit. Drunk as hell. I believed in that guy in every shot he took, though. And he hit 2 most ridiculous shots while completely blasted, like back to back.
And he hit it with confidence, though. That's what he did.
Yeah,
with confidence.
The first one, I told him, every time I told him like a shot, because it was like mostly like bounce it off a wall or like a hard angle, he's like, Robert, there's no way. I'm like, trust. Just trust. And
he hit it.
He hit it. He hit it. And after the first one, like he looked at me like I've never seen someone so shocked while playing pool, because he 100% didn't believe in himself on that shot. But the second one,
and it was gone.
yeah, that man was gone.
Oh, it's funny.
Fun night though. Really do it more often.
We should. All right. You know what I have to do? Well, now that everybody, the only people here are the real fans. 50 minutes in, what we have to do is I have to put some of my game halls on the Instagram or something. That's what we should. That's something I should do for the Instagram. Put some of my game halls, because I do that too much.
Yeah, you should do that. The game halls. I'll put I could put some of my weave shit halls.
Yeah,
or at least some vinyl halls.
Yeah, that'd be badass. All right,
that'd be good.
All right, man. Well, I think that was a great episode. I think we talked about a lot of fun shit. Well, I think we will. That was episode
23.
23. Episode 23. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much.
See you next week.
See you next week.